Good morning, guys. It's Erica with Not Your Average EDC, and today we are going to go over some of my favorite pieces of gear of all time, because tomorrow I'm turning 27 on the 27th. So what better way to celebrate than talk about some of my favorite gear, why I love it, and I want to share it with you guys so that maybe you can pick it up if you want it. We're going to go over all different types of things, not just knives. I will specify why I like each one. Yeah, let's just get into it. So, up first, my flashlight. This is a Surefire EDC L1-T. It's a mouthful. This is the first American-made flashlight that I ever got. I've had this for a long time. I've tested it and reviewed it. That is on the channel. Although it is a little big on this end, it is a really nice flashlight. It never failed on me. I like the gas pedal switch on the back as well as the twisty. It is a little big, but in the winter this is one of my favorite flashlights to use and very reliable, and I really like that it's made in the USA. Next, this is a new acquisition. This was gifted to me for my birthday. It's a tactile turn pen, the little slim mini bolt action one, and yeah, a great birthday present. This immediately became a favorite. I love the bolt action on it. It writes really nicely. It's a great size. I love the machined clip, and again, made in the USA. I was really just waiting for my big idea design pen to crap out because it was made in China, and I was just waiting for it to crap out until I got a pen made in the USA. But I have a lot of really incredible friends, and somebody gave this to me for my birthday so that I could have a USA made one before mine shits the bed, my other one. So really enjoying this so far. The machining is beautiful. I think it's a great size. It's very small. Here's a Swiss Army knife for size comparison. Like a normal Swiss Army knife, it's basically the same size. So yeah, a great little pen so far. None of these are reviews, obviously. We're just talking about stuff, but I do have reviews on a lot of this stuff on the channel. Favorite multi-tool in terms of full size, still the Victorinox Spirit X. I just think this is all around a great multi-tool. Very well made, not entirely like hard use, but for most people I feel like this will do very well. I feel like it's slim and elegant. I really like how the handles kind of bow out like that. It's very comfortable. Has a great set of tools and some of the best scissors I've ever used. This is a multi-tool that I was carrying and testing for a very long time, maybe a year. I have videos of me using this for fencing projects, all that good stuff. It's really incredible. The one flaw that it does have is that it does not pass the spine whack test. So if you pull one of these tools out and you smash it into something, these will close. Just a heads up. So if you feel like in your day-to-day life you are going to take your tool, smash it into something, and have it close, do not buy this because it will fail the springs. Just a heads up. But I don't do that, so this is a really great tool for me. Favorite Swiss Army knife? This is the Spartan from Victorinox. I've had this one for a very long time. It is really beat up. Still one of my favorites though. I do wish it had scissors, but I just can't seem to find a Swiss Army knife with this like thickness and the right tools that I want that has scissors. Like the closest thing is the compact, but I really don't like the parcel hook on that, and I don't like that it has the little pen. I had the compact for a while. I ended up giving it away just because it had unnecessary things, and while I loved the scissors, I just didn't want the other stuff that came with it. But the Spartan, I use all of these tools surprisingly, and I just wish I had scissors as well, because I actually do use the corkscrew, especially for picking knots. I really like using that, and you can store the eyeglass screwdriver in here. I use the reamer all the time. then it just has like the cap lifter, some blades, can opener, just a lot of useful stuff. And like I said, I just wish it had the scissors, but it doesn't, and I really, really like this one. This is also the DLT exclusive Onyx one, so everything is blackened. It's not a coating. It's like the way that they treat it or something. I know it doesn't look black, but it's not the typical polish. But it does kind of wear off. Like I said, I've had this for a long time, and the lighting is really poor right now, but on some of the tools, it's like worn off. That treatment is kind of worn off on the corners. Okay, favorite pry bar, you guys probably guessed, the Nice Guy Machine Company Plain Jane bar. I just can't beat this, guys. I've used a couple of different pocket pry bars. Been using this one for a few months now, and this is just the best one I've ever had. It's lightweight. It feels like there's nothing there. It's a great fidget tool. Very useful. Just perfection. If you can get your hands on one, I highly, highly recommend. I've been using this one for a few months now, and it just works. It's just great. It doesn't leave me desiring anything else. Let's talk about a couple fixed blades, because I love my fixed blades. I don't think that they're talked about enough in the EDC community, so let's just go over some of my favorites. The first one is the Wood Steel Knives Mini Snake Eater, made by Woody Smith and designed by James over at Junkyard Fox. That's why there's a little fox on there. So James designed this model. This is the mini version, and Woody executed it. And I think it's one of the best. Oh, we're getting too hot in the window here. Got a little notification. I gotta move you guys. There we go. Sorry about that. Hopefully the video quality is still okay. Yeah, Woody made this, and James put all of his own characteristics into it, and it's one of the best knives I've ever used. Now, obviously, this is not really an EDC knife for most people, including myself. It's kind of more of a hunting knife and like camp chore knife, but at the farm I used it a lot, and I did process a wild hare with this. I have the video on my channel here. I think it's on the Use Your Ship playlist. But it's just a beautiful design. Now, this one has some changes to it that I made working with James and Woody. I did not want the compound edge that James uses. So on the original, it has a Scandi grind to like here, and then it goes to a regular grind. I didn't need that. I also went with 01 tool steel, and I think James is using AEBL maybe. I went very, very thin with it. I did not want the pommel on the end. Yeah, a few other changes too, but basically I just wanted this to be a little more simple and easier to take care of and thinner for hunting, and that's why I went with the choices that I made. It's beautiful, and Woody did a really incredible job with it. So if you are into like camp cooking and wild game processing, anything like that, this is a really cool knife to use, and I love it. And the mini version just is the perfect size for me. I didn't really want the full size because I felt it was going to be a little too big, but this one fits me perfectly. Also, he uses the same sheaths that LT Wright uses, so JRE Industries. Really nice sheath. Okay, next, from LT Wright. Sorry, everything's a little messed up now that I had to change my angle here. Another one of my favorite knives is the LT Wright Vault 4. I have had this since I was, oh man, like 20 or 21, I think. And I'm about to turn 27 tomorrow. This thing is old as shit. The Vault 4 was a knife that LT Wright did where it was kind of like a secret knife, and they only made so many of them, and then you like can't get them again. This one is absolutely beautiful. This one's in A2 tool steel, and it's a bushcraft knife with a saber grind. I have beaten the living shit out of this thing. This one went to Acadia National Park with me up in Maine for a weekend trip many years ago, and it just did everything. It was batoning all weekend, it was food processing, it was whittling, camp cooking, and it just never quit. This thing has been through the fucking ringer. Very easy to sharpen, takes a beautiful edge, has a kind of a polish right now. Nice 90-degree spine for fire steel. I have done a lot with this knife. I've been through a lot with it, and it will never leave my collection because it's perfect. I love the handle. Everything about it is just the most comfortable, useful design I have really ever used in terms of an all-around like bushcraft knife. And there are many knives that are very similar to this, so although you can't get the Vault 4 anymore, unless maybe on the secondary, there are knives very similar to this I'm sure you can find from other companies, and maybe even LT Wright themselves. They might have like a production run similar version. Alright, and the last fixed blade, you guys probably guessed, my full flat ground mini spade and magna cut from BGM Knives. Not only is this an ultimate performer for me, it also just represents change and being willing to do things over and over and over again, even if they drive you nuts, to get to a solution. So I've had this mini spade forever. This is one that I tested and reviewed. My first go around with Magna Cut was dog shit. It was almost embarrassing. I just had a really hard time bonding with Magna Cut when it first came out, and then I just kept trying, and I got this mini spade in Magna Cut that was treated higher, and it was like a night and day difference. I did need to put my own edge on. I did need to work through the convex edge that it came with. I needed to work out the kinks, but I kept trying because I wanted to understand why Magna Cut was so significant, and finally I realized it through my testing, through sharpening, and this just represents that ridiculous challenge that I had to go through to appreciate what Laren was doing with Magna Cut. This is a fantastic knife. I cannot recommend the mini spade from John enough. Again, it's BGM Knives, but this knife is an ultimate performer. I love the full flat grind. It is insanely thin, and I think with this model, with the full flat grind and the heat treat being, I think it's 62.5 to 63.5, you have the full capabilities of Magna Cut. This thing is it is my most reliable knife. If I need to do a hardcore task, even though it's thin, this is my go-to reliable knife for that. It just doesn't quit. It will shred for days, and I've done some really fucked up stuff with this knife. So, BGM Knives, mini spade, full flat ground in Magna Cut. I cannot recommend it enough. I have a lot of content on this one as well on the channel. That's the last of the fixed blades. Let's talk about folders now. I've got a whole bunch of them here that I'm going to just put up here for ease. Okay, let's start with, go figure, the Emerson Mini A100. This one is insanely old. This is the one that I tested doing renovations at a job I had years ago. This one is just an absolute beater. It's had so many different scales. It's been sharpened so many times. It's been used as a prybar and a screwdriver and a drill and a scraper and a wedge tool. It's just done everything. I stonewashed the blade, acid stonewashed it. Right now it has a freehand mirror edge on it that I did just for fun. 154 cm is a really fun steel to practice mirror edges with. It doesn't perform that great with a mirror edge, in my opinion, for most tasks, but to practice, it's great, and that's kind of what I was doing with this. This knife just represents everything that I want from a knife. Complete lack of ergonomics, super comfortable, super rugged, simple. This is just an inspirational tool to me. I will never not love it. So smooth. I love the Emerson Mini A100. This one will never, ever, ever leave my collection, and I have a lot of videos on it as well. Let's see, next, let's go with, how about this one? TRM Neutron 2. Surprisingly, I love this. It's one of my favorites. I had a really, really rough time with TRM when I first started using their knives. I had a Neutron, first gen, I guess, that had like just really poor scales and really poor centering, and it was not a good first introduction to the company, and I really didn't want to try them again. However, I did end up wanting to try them like a year later to see if anything had changed, and I'm really glad that I did, because things had changed. This one's much better than the first one. The improvisions are fantastic, and this is a really nice, super lightweight, super thin and slicey EDC knife that is very comfortable, very well made, and made by really kind people. The first one was just really not good, and I expected more from an American company, a smaller American company. I just wanted it to be better, and I'm really glad that I kind of like revisited and was willing to eat my words, because I love this knife. Fully tested, fully reviewed. The 20CV is some of the best I've ever used. It's great. I love this one, and I really love these G10 scales. They just feel great, they look great, and this knife literally weighs nothing. Let's talk about some natives. You guys know I love the Native 5 lightweight from Spyderco. Love. These two are really special to me because this one, the community got together and modded this and gifted it to me. I will never be able to express how grateful I am for that. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for everyone involved. They purchased this from GP Knives for me. It's a Rex 45. It was one of those white scale ones, the like exclusive, and Anthony modded this out fully. I have a whole video on that. Dyed the scales, did a regrind on the blade, sandblasted the hardware, contoured the scales, all that good stuff. This one is just, it's beautifully done, and it is a tool made to work. And that's what I love about this. The mods that Anthony did on this make an already absolutely fantastic model even better. This thing is an ultimate worker. I absolutely love this. So this one's really special to me because the community got together and gifted it to me, and I will never, I didn't deserve it, and I will never deserve any of the nice things that I get from you guys, but thank you anyway. This one will never leave. But its brother, which it has a few, but this one I threw together. This is, it's an S90V blade in the cobalt scales from a different Spy 27 Native 5 lightweight. And this is, I've had both of those for a while. I fully tested and reviewed the Spy 27 Native 5 lightweight before. I did some Frankenstein work and did some blade swaps and stuff. I did a quick test on the S90V blade as well. All that content is on the channel. But this is one that I threw together, and I just love how it looks. I love S90V so far. This shade of blue is stunning. I think it looks great with this little bead here from Maverick Workshop, which, by the way, he's not making Ultim beads right now, so they're all sold out. Has a deep carry clip from Lynch Northwest. I just think it looks fantastic, and this is kind of like, in my opinion, the ultimate build the Ultimate Native 5 lightweight build. I think that this shade of blue is really great. The S90V is done incredibly well from Spyderco. I just think that this build looks really good, and it's one that I've used and I just love, and I know it's a workhorse. I know that it'll do what I need it to do. With that deep carry clip, it's just kind of like the ultimate build for me. So I'm really glad that I had purchased this a while ago, and it's a very reliable knife for me to get work done. Let's talk about this Benchmade bug out. This one is old as shit. Kind of beat up, really old. It's so old. I bought this when they first did the like Ranger Green bug out, before they changed the coating on the knife blade. So now when you purchase this build, it will have a different coating, kind of like a Teflon sparkly coating almost. They changed it because this one is not very durable at all. So this is the old school one. I bought this years ago. I bought it years ago. It's been through the fucking ringer, and this is just the bug out that made me fall in love with bug outs. I used this when I was in construction and remodeling houses. This is also the bug out that I took and ground into the bottom of a coffee mug and then resharpened. That video is on my sharpening playlist, but it can be kind of daunting taking a knife on camera with no editing tools and just going for it and taking it and making it completely dull on the bottom of a coffee cup and then having to bring back that edge. It was the first time I had done that on camera, and I was really nervous that it was gonna go south, but I just said, fuck it, like if it goes south, it goes south. You have to record your failures too, but surprisingly, I was able to bring back this S30V to very, very sharp on camera in like 10 minutes. And it just, to me, it's a sentimental knife because it's a workhorse. I've done a shit ton of work with it, but also it represents like maybe having a failure that the public sees, maybe not having a failure and just going with it and seeing where it goes and having faith in yourself. And I was a little nervous to do that challenge on camera with no editing software or anything, but it went fine. It went very well, actually. The bug out pulled through for me, and I was really proud of the edge that I got after completely dulling it. So this one is a representation of just fucking going for it. And if you fail, you fail. Whatever. You guys probably guessed this one too. My old Benchmade 940, the one that is beat to shit. This is a knife that I have had for, man, maybe 6 or 7 years, I think, obviously. This one is just old as shit, and this is one that I fully reviewed and fully tested, and ooh, this one has been through some shit. Broke the tip off pulling brackets from a window on camera when I was in renovations and construction. It just beat the fuck up. Sorry, the lighting is really bad in here. I'm sorry, guys. This one has 15 degrees per side, which videos on that, it just performs better. This has just been a guinea pig for me for pushing a knife to its limits. That's what this represents. This is a knife that everyone has said is like a do-all knife. It's an absolute beater, and I pushed this one to the limits. I wanted to see what it could do, and it pulled through for me. This one is really, really special to me. I've had it for so long. I will never get rid of it. I love the 940. It is a multi-tool. It is a beater. I will always love this knife. Let's talk about this Spyderco Pair 3 in Maximate. So this is one that I've had for a while, obviously. Really beat up. I bought this a while back when I wanted to revisit Maximate because I felt that my sharpening skills had improved since I tested it the first time around. I also purchased it because I had heard that the heat treat was altered on the newer Maximate to be better, and I wanted to see if that was true or not. It was. I have videos on all of this. Maximate is one of my favorite steels. A lot of people say it's crap and it's chippy and it's impossible to sharpen. I have found the opposite. Sharpening it on DMT stones is a dream. It keeps a working edge for a disturbingly long time. It's a very low maintenance steel, even though it patinas, obviously. But for me, it's very low maintenance in terms of edge retention. Like, you just don't have to touch it, and it will like do little tiny microchips that still cut very well before you need to sharpen it. So you literally do not have to touch this knife for a very long time. Obviously, you may want to oil it to maintain rust. I don't do that, but you may want to. But this Pair 3 has really done a lot of work. It's dingy, it's disgusting, it's been here for a little while, and I just love this knife so much. I love the color scheme that they went with. I did a like sandblasted lynch clip on it. The whole thing just looks beautiful, but it's also an absolute worker and one of my favorite knives. You just can't go wrong with a Maximate Pair 3, in my opinion. You really can't. I can't wait to continue using this. Alright, the last two are also very special to me. So this is my Chris Reeves Small Sebenza 31 that I bought almost 2 years ago, I think. Full review on it, tons of content on this one because this one has done a lot. This is the one that I did construction with as well. I have so much content on beating the shit out of this on my Use Your Shit playlist. This is also a knife that I processed a wild hair with on camera. It did fantastic. I have done everything you can think of with this knife. This one was really special to me because I purchased this a while ago when I was ready, when I felt that I was ready to spend $475 of my hard-earned money on a knife that I was purposely going to try to not destroy, but really push to its limits, right? I saved up. I saved up when I was in contracting, and $475 for this inlay version from eknives.com. I finally got it. I was really proud of myself for being willing to spend that money on it and then just beat the living shit out of it and see if it would fail. And it didn't. It didn't. I love this thing. It was a love-hate relationship at first. There were things about it that I really didn't like. I will never appreciate the pocket clip riding down onto the lock bar with pressure. I will never be okay with that. However, everything else is good to go on this. I just love this old girl. I love this old beater. It is beat to shit. But she's still got a lot of years in her. I absolutely love this knife. Tons of content and reviews on this. This one will never leave. It will never ever leave. And the last one is my Spartan Harzy 3.25 folder DLT exclusive in S45 VN. This is one that I bought a while ago, already tested it, already reviewed it. I got this particular design because, I'll be honest guys, this YouTube journey has been a hell of a ride. It really has been. A lot of people really like the channel. A lot of people appreciate actually using your gear, actually, you know, putting it through its paces before doing a review. But with that, there have been people that literally have sent me death threats, have wanted to kill me. There are people that take my jokes seriously, they project it into themselves, and they say that I attacked them. The channel has been a rough ride, and I bought this knife with this particular design, you know, the bomber with the bombs coming through, because for me, it represented just being bomb-proof. You know, I made this channel knowing that if I was going to be myself, 10% of the people were going to fucking hate me. I knew that. I knew making the channel was going to cause controversy. I knew that if I wasn't going to get monetized or anything like that, or have YouTube pay me, that I could do with whatever I wanted, but that also means that people are going to fucking hate me for being real. And this is just a reminder to myself to just be bomb-proof, you know? For every one person that is sending me a death threat and saying that I should die and that I don't deserve anything good in this life, I have 9 people thanking me and sending me beautiful gifts like this, and, you know, following and supporting the channel, and just being beyond good to me. I don't deserve the kindness and the friends that I have created in this community. But this just is a reminder to me to just keep going. This is a knife that I tested, I reviewed. I love the double cryo that Spartan does on this S45VN. It performs way different than most production S45VN. I love the quality of this build. I love what Spartan is doing with these. It is a very nice knife. Like I said, I saved up my money and I was working 7 days a week, sometimes 12-hour shifts, for a very long time to save up for this a while ago. And it felt really good to just work hard and get this to test and review, and on top of being an absolutely incredible tool, it's very special to me. Every time that I want to stop making videos and stop making content and just go cry, this one tells me to just keep fucking going. So, yeah, this one's really special to me, and that's the last knife and the last piece of gear in this video. Keep on keeping on, guys. Life is hard, and people will make it their goal, their dream, their entirety to take you down and to annihilate you. When you are vulnerable on any platform in social media, especially YouTube, as your channel grows, especially if it grows too fast, people will make it their living existence to completely shred you and make you want to kill yourself. It's just what people do. We've had the channel for a little over a year. We grew way too fast. I have, I think, over 5,000 subs, and we've only had the channel since last April. Like, that's it. So like a little over a year. It grew way too fast. We talked a lot of shit. We've been so raw and real and honest and had ups and downs. And there are a few people that have made it their goal to just try to get me to top myself off. But I won't. I am bomb-proof in this world, and I'm going to keep going. Keep giving you guys good, real, raw, honest content on the knives and tools that you love. So, with that being said, guys, I might take a little break here from YouTube. The last few days have been pretty insane. I just started a new job. I need to find my family a house. So I think I'm going to sign off for a little bit. You can still contact me on Instagram. It's not like I'm going to delete the channel. It's not like I'm done here on YouTube or anything. But I need to be bomb-proof in terms of finding my family a fucking home, which I will do. I need to focus on my new job. I need to focus on myself a little bit. Tomorrow's my birthday, turning 27. So I'm going to sign off here on YouTube for just a little bit to kind of recollect. Like I said, I'll still be on Instagram. This is not the end. I just need a few days to kind of chill out, and I want to give you guys a nice long video to entertain you until I'm back. But yeah, guys, just be bomb-proof in this world. Don't let anybody bring you down. And remember, if you have haters, you're doing something right, because that means you're not conforming and censoring yourself to make everybody happy. So thank you to my haters. Thank you to everybody that has told me to go die. and that I'm a piece of shit. I appreciate you hating who I am as a person, and for all of the people that love me and all of my friends. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I will never deserve the kindness that I get and the gifts that you all have been sending me for my birthday. I appreciate you guys so much. So go use your shit, guys. Put some stains on your knives. Learn how to sharpen them. Beat them up. Push them to their limits. See what they are willing to do for you. Use your knives. They're tools. Have a safe queen or two, but maybe also a beater. I will see you guys soon. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything. I really just love you guys. Have a good one.